So welcome everyone. This is our, I think, second session where I'm focusing on safe related queries. And the agenda is driven by participants. And here we are trying to explore various queries related to Scaled Agile framework. Not necessarily we follow very official theoretical content of Scaled Agile framework, but we talk about in general what is happening when it comes to Scaled Agile. So I'm your facilitator, Saket Bansal. I have been teaching SAFe since 2014. Yeah, so it's more than 10 years. I am also observing many SAFe implementations which are happening in various organizations, closely working with some of the implementation even now. So we had informal conversation before I started the recording, and I have two questions. Let's start with the first one. So situation is you are a Scrum Master, and when you go for job interviews or when you are looking for the next opportunities, you see a Scaled Agile framework mentioned in the profile. So first is what is it? How it is different from Scrum? That's a obvious question. Second is how do I possibly demonstrate that I know SAFe? Yeah, that might be a bigger question. So first thing is from a very basic way of understanding, you can say Scrum help us in delivering things in a one Scrum team, which might be of around 9 people, Scrum Master, Product Owner, overall 11 people working together, working in 2 weeks, 3 weeks sprints and delivering things. But what if my organization is looking for 100 people coming together and producing something big? Yeah. And they can't create a 100 people project team. They probably need to do something differently. So what the Scale Agile has done is they have created a content by taking ideas from various existing knowledge base like a lean knowledge base, development flow knowledge base, and Scrum is also pretty much there. And they created a holistic guide which can help a large organization in implementing agile from top to bottom, and also help the large organization in working with big group of people. Yeah, that's the idea. So you can say if I create a family of Scrum teams and make the whole community of the Scrum teams work towards a common goal, and I am following something which help us in doing aligned planning and aligned execution on an incremental basis. That problem is solved by Scaled Agile framework in a particular manner. There are other scaling framework as well. You just don't have just SAFe. There are others also, but SAFe is definitely one of the most popular one. Yeah, so that's how basically I can understand. Now the role of a Scrum Master. Now let's focus on the query because someone is looking for a Scrum Master job asking this query. So role of a Scrum Master, maybe 70% remains the same, which is again working with your agile team, supporting iteration execution and all, sprint execution and doing all Scrum related stuff, impediment removal, creating high performing team. So those ideas remains as it is in the case of a safe Scrum Master as well. So that thing is as it is. What is different is now since there is a community of Scrum teams and there are Scrum Masters, they play a critical role in creating this whole group, which is called Agile Release Train, is also aligned well and chasing the common goal in a effective manner. So the Scrum Master role will also playing a critical role in doing planning in the coordinated manner. I'm just trying to avoid the jargons. So the SAFe has a one coordinated planning meeting, which they call it PI planning meeting. So Scrum Master plays an important, all Scrum Masters of that community play an important role to facilitate the planning process. All Scrum Masters who are there in that community, which is called Agile Release Train, play an important role in facilitating dependency management and all on an ongoing basis. So if I'm going for an interview for safe Scrum Master role, I should be able to tell what I do in a PI planning meeting. I should be able to tell what I do in a code sync up meeting. I should be able to tell how do I take care of interdependencies and other things which I'm working with other agile team. I should be able to tell how my team prepares a PI level plan. PI is a big time box, and how I facilitate on a regular basis in achieving PI level plan by my team by removing impediments and all. So those kind of questions will get it added extra. What I do in a PI planning meeting, that will be a big content added. Yeah. So that's the expectation from Scrum Master. Now, if I don't have an experience about it, what do? I can theoretically learn it. Definitely, I can watch video, I can learn from various knowledge base, and I can get certified as well. I can do Safe Scrum Master or Leading Safe certification. Out of these two, you can do one. Will I be able to say that I have an experience of Safe just based on the certification? Probably no. Yeah, because saying I have an experience on Safe is little tricky thing. You can't just say that my company do some part of Safe. Yeah, so Safe is very difficult to be done in a some part. It happens in totality or it may not happen at all. So unlike Scrum, where I can experiment even as a Scrum Master and do some more things, in case of Safe, your organization really need to use Safe if you really want to demonstrate your experience. So my advice would be that don't say that you have an experience of Safe until unless you really have it. But try to learn and try to showcase that you have been using some of the Safe practices, but my company is not yet using Safe, but I have studied and I have got certification. So that's the best one can do about it.
The thing is that, sir, in the initial calls, see these HRs are asking, well, because I came across some 3 to 4 HRs, they are asking just on, are you familiar with SAFe? So
Then definitely.
that is the normal question which I'm facing from all recruiters.
Perfect. Yeah. So that's an easy problem to solve. That's an easy problem to solve, and that can be done by way of demonstrating one of the SAFe certification. So you can choose out of leading SAFe or SAFe Scrum Master. If you are very clear that you want to play a role of a Scrum Master in SAFe, then go for a SAFe Scrum Master certification and study SAFe. We have a 50 plus videos on our YouTube channel. Study it well, and officially you can say I'm familiar because I'm certified. So these are the two things can help you in moving forward, but maybe you can't say that I have an experience in it, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
Yes.
because another question, sir. See, I'm just enrolling for your next SAFe 6.0 class, which is scheduled in June 6th and 7th. So should I go with 6.0 or else SAFe Scrum Master? So
So both are possible. Yeah. So that's a 6.0. We call it leading safe. And
yeah,
there is another one is called safe scrum master. So say both trainings are coming. You can enroll to any of it, or you have already enrolled, then you can shift to any of it. That's also possible. You can come and switch that as well. In general, the leading safe class is heavy class. It is too much management heavy and it is made for managers, leaders, the people who are going to drive safe implementation. That's the mindset. But it is also a very popular class because it's a comprehensive introduction of safe that way. Now, when you go for safe Scrum Master class, it will be light class for you because 30-40% content is same like Scrum. So you understand iteration planning and all those things. So that content will be easy. And you can club the and understand the remaining content, which is safe a Scrum Master role in a scaled agile framework. Yeah. So if you want to get managerial understanding, how to do budgeting, how to think about safe principles, and you are saying that I might want to keep my role open for project manager and various other things, not a Scrum Master role, then you should go for leading safe. But if you are very clear that my current profile, my current experience is primarily pointing to a safe Scrum Master role, then you can directly go for safe Scrum Master certification only.
yes. Because initially I'm thinking some next comes some couple of years, next 1 to 2 years, I want in the same path, but I'm exploring for the career growth. So I thought of just checking with you, so which would be good as
Yeah, so
part of
these are
career.
the two names, Safe Scrum Master and Leading Safe, which is a Safe Agilist. As you are already in the market, check various job descriptions and see
Yeah.
which one is visible more and decide it. You have time and you can decide to come in.
Yeah, because many of JDs they are popping up Safe 6.2 only.
Yeah, yeah. So Leading Safe is Leading Safe
Leading Safe.
Agilist. Yeah, that's a little popular. That's why, because 80% of the people who are Safe certified is doing that. But overall, 40 to 50% content is safe. That's also another fact. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good, good, good. So we have another query which is talking about steps to implement SAFe from scratch. So how to implement SAFe from scratch? First thing is, if you are a Scrum Master and you are thinking that I will implement SAFe in my company, not going to happen. Safe implementation only will get done if your company management wants it to get done. Yeah, that's the one thing you need to keep in mind. And safe implementation may cost your company maybe minimum $500,000. That's the another thing you need to keep in mind. So safe implementations are big initiative. A normal Scrum Master role may not be able to run it or inspire it or motivate the organization. That's how they. Now, SAFe has a formal path to implement SAFe, and that thing is called SAFe Implementation Roadmap. The idea of safe implementation we should understand is it is not like you want to do one project using safe. That's not the safe guys try to sell. They try to sell your company want to improve their development process. Why don't your company start using safe? Yeah. So it is more or less, yes, you will do in steps, but your goal is after some time, my whole organization, development part of the organization, new product development part of the organization will use safe. Yeah. It is not for, oh, this project we want to do safe. That is not the intention. Again, you may customize it. That's how they promote it. So they have an implementation roadmap which talks about that before you start talking about safe, first you need to create a group who will drive this journey. And for first few months, this group has to educate leaders and manager about scaled agile framework, because the idea of safe implementation is that they need to focus on managing and educating leaders first, not directly going to the scrum master. So initially their focus is on educating leaders. After education of the leaders, they talk about you need to identify the streams which can be grouped together. You need to identify big groups who will be taking care of various products and solution, which is called agile release train. And once you identify agile release train, then you start making incremental plan for using safe in different agile release train. Yeah, this is how you do. And once you start producing good results in few trains, then you start replicating the same story into other trains. Yeah, so that thing is called safe implementation roadmap. I know it has a lot of jargon, so I am trying to keep it simple as much as possible. When you go for a leading safe class, this topic comes as a last topic of the class. So once you have understood safe, then they tell how do you go about it. Yeah, that's how it is organized. There is a video in our YouTube which can talk about how to implement safe in a organization, and that term is called safe implementation roadmap. So there are some interesting questions. Yeah. So we can say, what are the risks for Agile in the future? What industry do you see as an easy to apply for Agile? Can we talk about the challenges for Agile transformation? I would be happy to go through each point with you and exchange, collect some experience. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. So maybe you want to talk about whichever point.
So hey all, hey Mr. Bansal, it's really nice to talk to you. I've been already watching your videos the couple of the last few years. I'm applying actually Agile since almost 10 years here in Germany. So it's not something completely new to me. And in each organization I've been working on, it was always automotive. And I'm working for maybe the biggest supplier in the world, German company. And in every organization, let's say when I switch, then it's a little bit different, if not completely different, to apply agile. Sometimes it's only some artifacts like stand-ups or using Jira as a tool. And sometimes it's really a top-down decision, means even the CEO is certified, and we don't have any department heads, no group managers. It's completely agile. Wherever is called group manager is now called chapter lead or something like that. And whenever someone is called project manager, then he can or she can decide for Scrum Master or release train engineer or product manager, etc., etc. We have applied safe, and in other organizations, it's bottom up decision. Means if the customer is saying you need to apply agile so that I can award you with the project, then we are forced to apply it, and then it's really hard to apply agile within a classic organization where you need to call the people product managers or product owners, etc., scrum masters, but they exist within the project. It's called like that, but at the same time within the organization they are not recognized like that. No one is understanding. Then you start with the smallest manager to explain why it is important, etc., etc. So that's what I have observed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I am working as an agile coach, leading a transformation, and I need to admit I felt it's not it's I'm not I failed to make a successful transition or transformation. And I see a lot of challenges. Yeah, people are risking their jobs. They don't want to be called product owners if they are department heads, etc. They don't want. They want better to hide things, because agility brings a lot of transparency. So it's a lot of mindset problems. So are there any maybe tips here for such challenge? And the second,
Yeah.
maybe we go one point by one point. I have a few questions.
Yeah. So thank you. And I think this is something which you see normally. So say what is happening is when you try to bring a solution and write a book about that solution, any book, and you try to sell that book that this book will solve your problem, it is not going to solve people's problem. Maybe some will get benefit, some will not get benefit. I usually in my class tells, you can write a book how to become a millionaire, and maybe a lot of people will read it. Somebody will really become a millionaire by reading it. Somebody will not even finish the book. Somebody will finish the book, try it out, but will not do anything about it. And the more and more you try to sell the book, the more and more it will become more rudiment, like it is more like a checklist oriented, and it is start losing the interest. So any idea, be it a idea like how to get rich, maybe there is a value in the idea, but it also depends upon the environment in which we put the idea. And unique environment required unique approaches. I personally believe following agile by a particular book means you are not following agile. Yeah. So say following Scrum by the book means you are not following Scrum, or following Scaled Agile by the book, I think you are not following Scaled Agile. Reason being is all frameworks, even waterfall as well, talks about that you need to retrospect and find out what works for you. Yeah. The SAFe also teaches you that you need to focus more on principles, and based on principle, you find out what works for you. The Scrum also teaches us that continuously doing retrospective, you need to find out appropriately as you do it. So more and more organizations are realizing it, yeah, because they are unable to implement the ready-made book and make the difference. The challenge is as you make things little vague, like I'm saying that you need to find out your own solution, it becomes less sellable and packageable. So it is very difficult to convince someone that use this idea, because we are saying that you need to figure it out a lot of things by yourself. So many framework seller may not want to put that message very clearly. They want to show that this book will solve your problem, but later on they will give a little hidden message. You need to do something yourself as well. Book will not solve your problem. So I think when I have an opportunity, I try to convince the management that it's our process. We need to own it. Nobody can guide us and tell us do this, don't do this. But if we see a value in it, we will do it. Yes, there is a value in these books. These books are written by doing hundreds of implementation research. There are great ideas. If we want to discard some of the ideas, we should have real reasons for it. But ultimately, this is a generic book. It doesn't know about our company, our environment. So I think that's becoming more and more common. And as you said, many of my friends who are doing agile coaching, and I asked them what happened to your transformation, and most of them are now telling the company has stopped spending money on the transformation and we are looking for a job. Yeah, so that's it. So that's the state of, I would say, maybe 60% of the agile coaches right now, where their transformation is over because management decided it's done, guys, it's too much, and they are looking for something else. Yeah, that's what I feel, observe.
Yes, I can confirm it. It's the same case everywhere, especially when it becomes um, a little bit dangerous on the market to find another job, etc. And even if the company is now fighting for existing, then we see on the market. I observe that people are not patient to try something new like agility,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah. So they are looking for something which are delivery oriented, which can solve the problem. And most of our agile coaches are now also taking care of delivery roles rather than sticking to pure coaching consulting roles. I see a good amount of trend where they are facilitating delivery. Now, when you are facilitating delivery, you want to call yourself Scrum Master, you want to call yourself project manager, you want to call yourself program manager. That depends. Yeah, the major thing is what do you do at the end. Yeah, so I think labels are some labels are favored by some organization, but we should focus on the competency of inspiring people, managing dependency, ability to navigate complexity, ability to do data analysis, ability to project trends. So those kind of competencies are in demand, and I think people can find the path.
Mhm. Maybe another question is, which industries do you see with your, let's say, network are ready to apply agility and which not?
So in general, what we have learned is the idea of agility is becoming now common everywhere. And that's what I teach in my PMP class, because many a time when I get a PMP certified certification people, they are thinking, and especially where the people who are coming from other industries, why do we have to learn agile? Because we are not in software. So the idea is the world is becoming dynamic, and the customer wants to have option to change their mind. It is becoming more and more difficult to freeze what you need and then deliver it. Yeah, even in other industries, not only in software. So whenever the organizations and customers are looking for option to change the mind, I as a provider need to find out little dynamic process to take care of that changing mind. So wherever the probability of changes are high, wherever the cost of adaptation is not that high. Yeah. But cost of not adapting is very high, because in IT space, we believe the cost of adaptation is relatively low because it's just a change of the software. But if you have an infrastructure and other stuff, the cost of adaptation may be high. So you want to, maybe the benefits may not be that much high. And that's why the change driven approaches are less. So definitely, if your results are digital products are definitely easy to change and difficult to predict in advance. That's why we are going there. Yeah. So we have another certificate which is saying that which certificate comes more weightage, leading safe or PMP? No comparison. Say leading safe is a 2 days effort and PMP is a 2 month effort. Yeah. So you know that getting a leading safe is like this. You can just get it. The another thing is leading safe add value when you are using safe. That's it. Yeah. That's a specific area. If your target customer, if your role is using safe, you need leading safe. You have done PMP, you have done program management, you have done Scrum Master, doesn't matter. Yeah. Whatever certificate you have done, but if you have to work in safe, you need to know how safe operates. Simple. Yeah. But if you don't have to work in safe, then the safe certifications are useless, in a simple word. So safe is more or less like a 1 and 0 thing. Either you will work in a safe or you will not work in a safe. It is not like I'm partially working in safe. That's a little difficult thing. So if you see your future roles need safe with PMP or without PMP, you need to learn safe. Yeah, the way we discussed with Anup, yeah, the first conversation. If you see the recruiter keeps asking you that do you have an understanding of safe, if you see wherever you are searching a job based on your profile and you see your target company asking for safe certification, then you have to do it. But if it is not that common for you, because there are a lot of project management which is without safe, yeah, practically, if I go by theory, then they don't overlap at all. The idea of project management does not believe that the idea of scaled agile framework does not believe in project management. From a safe perspective, there is no role called project manager. Yeah, so it's like this. But in reality, when especially we had a conversation, when you implement safe on a client request, then probably you have a project manager role as well. So it's difficult to say that these are which one to prioritize. But yes, as an individual, I can decide. So, for example, we were discussing Anoop's case where he is doing as a Scrum Master role and he is looking for the next Scrum Master role. Then going for safe certification is a good idea, because Scrum Master role for a next level without safe is becoming a little bit difficult for cracking the interviews. Yeah. But project management makes you generic and make you move forward, which could be your long-term goal. That was the question. How can I apply for Scrum Master position in a safe environment if I don't have a prior experience? So we were discussing that in the beginning of the call, but I repeat again. You can't say that you have a safe experience if you don't have it. It's difficult. It's difficult to cook a story. Yeah, it is something like I can just ask anyone and saying, okay, tell me when you did a last PI planning meeting and what was the agenda of your PI planning meeting. If this question can reflect and clearly clarify that person doesn't have an experience in safe, yeah, that's a possibility. If you give a bookish answer of a typical PI planning meeting from Scaled Agile framework, then it's not a right answer. Yeah, so you can't say. Simple. What you can do is, if the organization like other competency in you and they are looking that you understand how your role will get adapted in a safe ways of working, if your recruiter is not asking for experience but asking for awareness, and asking for ability to work in a safe environment, and they may want to put you to a client who might be looking for safe plus Scrum Master role, yeah, then you probably can enhance your chances. Yeah. And that's the way we see many participants doing it.
Saket, Sanjay here again. Good evening.
Sanjay, go ahead, please.
Good
Yeah.
to see you back. Saket, currently in the current market situation with higher experience, because I'm carrying about 20 years of experience, I don't see any traction coming up, even with roles which were looking at program manager, but they don't specifically task for safe. But from an experience standpoint, and the way recruiters would look at our experience coming with a wider range of array of experience, right? So, in those circumstances where they say, like, they don't mention anything about say for any specific set of requirement, but they will say that, like, yeah, like we are mentioning again in the discussion, that what is your awareness, like, a discussion might come up, and then we are required to showcase that minimum awareness, right? So for that, the available videos on the iZenbridge portal, will that suffice, or is it
More
like
than
something that
sufficient. More than
more than
sufficient. We have a 50 plus videos which teaches you on our YouTube channel what is safe. You can just search. There is a playlist. It's more
yes,
than sufficient. If you want to just decorate your CV, then doing a safe certification is also a good idea. Yeah. So that's
yeah,
the
correct,
thing you can do. And yes, as our experience level goes up, we need to target account management, program management kind of a role.
right,
It's very difficult. Someone will hire us as a project manager or a scrum master. That's not going to happen. So we need to target our competency, our messaging also in that particular way only. So program management, account management, or something like
yeah.
that. Yeah,
So it becomes a natural kind of a, it's like, they take it for like, a general requirement that, okay, person coming with a lot of experience. So they expect that, naturally we carry that experience, right?
yes,
It's
yes.
a normal expectation, right? It's not
Common
anything
expectation.
that
Yeah. So account
some,
management expectation, and when you are doing account management in a service company, then awareness of various approaches like Safe, Scrum, Kanban, project management, hybrid
correct.
management, this all is expected because they will assume that you as an account manager or as a program manager work with variety of clients. You end
Correct.
up drafting the right proposals and right approaches and you win those things. And that's why you should have that kind of vocabulary and understanding. That's my take. Yeah.
So the other question is, like, Saket, like, I just wanted to check, like, is there any other online training with iZenbridge where we bring in that expertise to showcase, like, what are those, like, might be a 1 day session. I was just exploring again. It's not because I'm not sure whether this particular requirement is available on the site. Like, to bring in those, the multidimensional thing like Kanban, everything is in a different section for doing the certification and the course. But maybe a 8 hour session or something like that, where we bring in that holistic view, right? So,
So
how?
relatively speaking, as you already did a PMI ACP program,
Yes,
so you better utilize that. Yeah,
that's
relatively
the only
speaking.
thing. Like, I was thinking, like, for targeting those account management and
Yeah.
to
So
the program management level. So
I
the
know
PGM that course is there,
PGMP
but
is there. Yeah, PGMP is there, but PGMP is little long-term investment because
yes,
it will take 2-3 months. Yeah. Again, you can do it faster also, but you end up spending around 14-1500 dollars. Yeah, like that. So
yeah,
say even in India, the exam will cost you around 60,000. Membership will be around 10,000. 70,000 will go into that only. Yeah,
yeah,
and then you have a self-paced program and you are learning. So learning and other things are possible. The only thing is you need to see you want to put that investment and will it give a return to you. I believe it should give, but you need to have a business case of yourself. So that's the one thing. But using the idea of core Kanban, core Scaled Agile, core Scrum, and trying to make a story on top of it. Yeah, the
correct.
story part will be missing. No program I would in my
Yeah,
mind can help you, but the content which you have already with you, probably from a PMI ACP space. That's the most comprehensive one.
Yeah.
The digital workbooks and the videos and those questions, if you play with those,
Yeah.
they will give you a good foundation. You need to take a practice test as well. Once that is done, then you are good in that foundation. Don't ignore the practice test. Just don't say that I have watched the recording of the class again. That's just a small story. So after the recording, you need to read the digital workbook, and then you need to go through the practice test as
Correct. Yeah.
yeah. And PGMP, if you have your business case clear, then you can definitely think about it.
Yeah, actually, like because it's been 3 months down the lane that I'm out of work now. So when I go back to things that are very foundational, then going through the concept again and again, right? So it making it little bit more difficult.
I know.
Because we need to keep pace with the other things that we
I
are
know.
doing, because we are doing parallelly some IT courses and all the
I
things.
know. I know.
So I was just thinking, like, can we have a refresher course for a day or so, something
So
that
we can plan if we really see more thing in our interview group. You can have that conversation and create a group.
Yeah.
That's a possible. And if you want to
Sure.
take a one-on-one mentoring from someone in that particular area, there
Yeah.
may be a possibility that on a TopMate somebody might be offering something like that. Yeah. So you can
Sure.
search on TopMate. Probably, yeah, there is a possibility.
Sure.
If I will find something, I will also share.
Sure, sure,
In
sure,
our
sir.
WhatsApp group also.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Perfect. Now we have another question. Can you tell us something about using AI in SAFe? So you use AI in SAFe, in project management, in Scrum, more or less in the same manner. Yeah. So there is no special way of doing SAFe AI. Yes, they have a link which you can click and they will talk about what all AI can do. They do have a SAFe Copilot. Once you become a member of Scaled Agile SAFe Studio, you can ask question to the SAFe Copilot about various SAFe concept. They can suggest you some templates and other thing. But whatever use case you have in your team leader job, like communication management, knowledge management, chatbot support, and all those kind of use cases, if they are relevant for you, you can apply them with the help of SAFe. Yeah. But I don't see that there will be any differentiation because you use SAFe, this AI will be useful to you. It's a work management. It's a work management. The way you do, you probably have some use cases where you can do Copilot based coding, Copilot based integration, which you can do in a Scrum also, Copilot based knowledge management, data preparation, data analysis, trend analysis. Those things you can do with any framework. Yeah. But yeah, SAFe has their Copilot, which tells about how SAFe answers using AI things. Yeah. Okay, that's an interesting stuff. So we have covered many diversified areas. And yes, we spoke about transformation, we spoke about job market. Yes, so I see whatever questions I have in the chat box, they are done. If anything,
Saket, again on the
please
job
feel free.
market part, any information that you could share, how the Middle East is looking like now? Are there any opportunities coming up? Because in
Yes.
India market, for experience targeting more than 18 plus, it's really tough now. So I see a lot of opportunities coming in asking, but then the way the structure of the requirements are coming up, I think it's more chat GPT kind of requirements popping up. Not sure how much it goes, but then the acknowledgement of when we apply for it, it's not coming up. So I'm just trying to see like how Middle East market is looking like. Is there anything that
So
for
no
project program
specific
management, is
input
it there?
from Middle East. Yeah, I have not discussed specifically, but from our client space, I do get people doing program management certification from Middle East. So again, it could be just an observation that they may want to get into a program management space, but no specific insight. But yes, from the Indian market, as you said, the same insight is coming from other sources as well, where people are saying that the job options are limited, and for those limited options the applications are many, and especially when you have a higher experience it becomes difficult. My advice for higher experience is that we need to find some other way of looking for a job rather than normal apply, because normal apply is working in a many people are trying it. We need to focus on probably creating content, writing some article on LinkedIn, doing some kind of other things rather than just applying for a job. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's something one can
yeah,
do.
sure.
There is a question: how to optimize flow of value through the agile release train using appropriate tool? Any suggestion? Okay. So this question seems to be repetitive these days. Recruiter doing for the knowledge of safe. If we do a safe Scrum Master, it is good for or not? Yeah, that's another question. Okay, yeah. So I think Anup, as you see the data, I think you can go for leading safe 6.0 because you have a data for that. So I think you don't have to confuse further. And again, content is same, yeah, more or less. Yeah, so you need to take a validation from the data. Now, let me take a question which is talking about how to optimize the flow. Now, this is a little trippy or a specific question. We assume that people already understand SAFe before we talk about how to optimize the flow through the agile release train. So first is who is responsible for it? Yeah. Uh, and what is flow? So in a simple, straightforward manner, how to produce faster results. That's optimize the flow. So you get a feature. How do we make sure the feature reaches to the end customer faster? And if it is getting blocked somewhere and it takes long time, then your flow is slow. Yeah, yes, the simple thing. So you need to make it fast. Now, what will happen when you make it fast? Your lead time will reduce, which means the time between adding the feature in the backlog and delivery of the feature, that reduce the overall thing will get reduced. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing you have to do. Now, how can you do it? Now, SAFe has their 8 flow accelerators, yeah, which you can definitely study from Scaled Agile perspective. But I want to keep it simple. There are some ideas. Exact solution, you need to figure it out. Nobody can tell you a solution for yourself because you can apply those ideas, but you need to do your own analysis. So release train engineer and scrum masters are the primary leaders in optimizing the flow. So if you are playing a role of a scrum master, one of your responsibility would be contribute and optimize the flow at your area of influence. Yeah, that is something you need to do. Some ideas without getting into more complicated one. The basic one which you study in your Scrum and Kanban, that remains valid here as well. What does it mean? What the idea is limiting work in progress. So one of the idea of optimizing the flow is WIP limits. Yeah, so you need to make sure that you are not working on too many things. That idea will work. The another idea which you also apply in Scrum Kanban to improve the flow is reducing the size of the work item. Yeah, in a safe, we will use more complicated English, reduce batch size and all. But in a simple word, if you have a small work items, if the requirements are small, they will pass through the pipe faster. If you have a big work items, they will take more time and they may block other items as well. So if you create features which are small, if you create stories which are small, they will go to the end customer faster. So reduce the work in progress, reduce the size of the work item. Then you can think of how can we reduce the steps in the flow. So right now you take multiple steps. Yeah, if I'm answering this question in the interview, then I need to give example from my context. We used to have these many steps and after that we merge them. Yeah. So how do you merge? Probably you make a one team doing many things, cross-functional team, or you make a one person doing many things so that the person can finish 2, 3 steps in a one go. So we reduce the dependencies and all. That could be another area of optimizing the flow. If you want to give an example that we first need to quantify where the blockages are, then one of the idea which SAFe promotes is, which is a generic idea of lean Kanban as well. You look at the whole pipeline of the flow, maybe you do a value stream mapping and you identify where the bottlenecks are, where the flow is getting blocked, and you improve on improving those bottlenecks. Now, how do you improve the bottlenecks? Maybe you find out if you can skip some of the steps, some of the item can skip the bottleneck, or you can identify if you can automate some part of it, you can add more capacity to it, depends. Yeah, whatever is available to you. So cross skilling, creating collective ownership, ability to move things faster, so you reduce handover, takeover. All these are good idea, and continuously improving your practices to improve the flow. So these are the high level ideas. And again, you can definitely look into the content from Scaled Agile, which talks about 8 flow accelerators. These things they will nicely present to you. So usually if you have already done a SAFe certification, this conversation can become more rewarding to you because you probably can discuss some of the things which were not clear in your class. Yeah. So you are welcome to talk about those ideas. Yeah. From our side, we have given videos as well, and our classes make sure that we simplify it rather than just read what is written on the slides. That's something I tried to do as much as possible. So Anup, your question I already answered. I think don't get too much confused. Search 10 vacancies and see If you have out of 10, which one is asking more about, like which certification is more visible, leading safe or safe Scrum Master, just do that. Yeah. And look for the appropriate keywords. We are supporting both of them. Yeah, so you can do. Difficult to choose, and 60% content is same. In a Scrum Master class, you will learn all the Scrum ceremonies. In case of leading safe class, you will learn some complicated topic related to safe principles and safe portfolio management. Yeah, so those topics will not come in a Scrum Master class. Rest of the content will be more or less same. Good. So if you have anything or any certification query, please connect with us. I am running Leading Safe, followed by Safe Scrum Master, followed by Safe POPM. So these are the three most popular certificate of Safe. So any of it, and if you want to do with me, the upcoming 3 weekends, this one is not afterwards. Yeah. So the 3 weekends of June, I have planned these certificates. So you can check the schedule on our website. If you just want to learn safe, you can just go through our 50 plus videos. Even if you are attending the certification class, it's always recommended to go through the videos first so that you have basic vocabulary and then you can make good use of the class. Yeah. So whichever way, exploring the videos in advance is a good idea. If you want to decorate your CV with more authenticity on safe knowledge, then you can do a safe certification as well. As you do a safe certification, you get a lot of resources from Scaled Agile as well. Yeah. They give you a membership for something called Safe Studio. Then the whole framework, related details. You also use a Safe Copilot. You can discuss things with the Safe Copilot. You can watch various videos talking about how PI planning is done in a distributed environment. They also give you various templates to run various safe events. So those things are available. It's a good knowledge base. So if someone is planning for interviews and really spend more time after certification on a safe studio, they can definitely exploit the information coming out pretty well. Yeah, that's a lot of content to make use of it. Yeah. Now CSM versus safe, that's another interesting question. So say they are little different. CSM is a widely used. So say 100 organization will use Scrum. Out of 100, 20 will use SAFE. And there that SAFE certification will be useful. 80 will not use it. Maybe 90 will not use it. Now the organization which are working in a small setup, they will focus on Scrum only. They will just use CSM kind of skills. Yeah, what you learn in a CSM. So if you want to target those organizations which are looking for scaled agile framework, those organizations are usually big. The popular safe implementation is in a financial sector, device sector, automobile sector with products and solution. So those kind of companies, and if you have some incline towards it, if you keep hearing from recruiter that you should be knowing safe, then you go for safe certification. Yeah. But if you are new to agile itself and you have no query coming for safe and you just want to learn something so that you can start experimenting a little bit, definitely you should go for CSM first. Yeah, the safe is the next level, usually a next level. There is a possibility somebody may enter directly in safe also, but in that case, your company must be using it. You keep hearing those words, then you can directly go to safe as well. So I train many people directly for the corporates where they have not done CSM training, but they directly go for safe because their company is using safe. So company wants them to learn their way of working only. They don't want to worry about anything else. In that context, safe is a good choice directly. Else, it should be a second step in general. Okay, so I start the closing. Yeah. So thank you everyone for your active participation and bringing lots of conversation to the hour. And it was nice discussing various certification and talking about safe and agile transformations, job market, many things together. So great. And I try to do these kind of sessions focusing on safe once in a month. That is something I have been doing. It's a second session though. So we will see inspect and adapt as we go along. But yes, this is something we do in general. Yeah. So thank you for participation. Bye for now.
Yeah, thanks, Saket. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Sanjay.
everyone.